Hi, this is Nick with Notch Audio, and today I've got something different for you. My 2013 Ford Fusion mirror control stopped working, and you press the buttons on the mirror wouldn't move. If I did the right side, I could get that button to select it, but the arrows typically did nothing. And these have been slowly failing over time, and now it's to the point where winter's coming, and I don't want to have to roll my window down to adjust my mirror. So I decided, instead of buying new switches, we're going to just try and fix it. And I've already done that, but I'm going to show you what I did here. To pop the panel out of the car, I used one of these like this. For soldering, you're going to need this, an iron and some solder. To get the bolts out on the back, there's a T10 Torx bit set of screws there, and then some sort of a way to pull the rubber key dome out once you get to that point. There's mechanical action on these, and they pull up and go down based on some plastic clips in there. So if you just shake everything out, you're going to lose all those clips, and it's going to be more time consuming, but you'll figure it out. So we're going to start with opening this thing up, and we'll go from there. So grab your Torx bit or whatever. This will apply to multiple vehicles. In the old days, I just have individual switches for most of this stuff, but on this one, it's a printed circuit board. And what led me to decide to do this right now is that the switches were slowly failing over time, and winter is here, just about, and in Minnesota. And so I was unwilling to just sit there all winter and roll my window down and just put my hand outside and adjust the mirror, in a snowstorm or whatever. So it was motivating enough. Take this thing apart. Take the screws out of the way. There you go. So you can just knock those out like that. Now you've got this individual module with all the switches. And we're going to take that apart next. There's 4 same size Torx screws. So I think this is a 2013 Ford Fusion that I'm driving. I think this covers the years 2013 up to 2020. But I can't confirm that, the panels probably look a little different. But I imagine they're still using circuit boards and these small surface mount parts that, by the way, if you've never soldered before, this isn't the project for you. Find somebody that can solder. And you don't want to use, a big solder gun or something like that. It's not the right tool for this. You want to use something that's probably like 25 watts or less if you're using a standalone. I've got one that detects the amount of heat needed and actually adjusts it. It's a Metcal. I love these things. I grew up on these working on cell phones. Now you've got these 3 clips on either side. And let's see. Be careful, but just pop it out just a little bit. Not that far. There you go. Get one side, and you can then just pull the rest out. Just be careful. There's a set of pins right here. Don't bend those. Now you got the circuit board. You're going to take that out. Careful. And you've got all these little surface mount parts. When I looked at this, I'd say at least a quarter of them, if not maybe half, had cracked solder joints. You cannot see that with your eye. You need to look at that under a microscope. I've got this microscope here. I'll share a couple pictures of what I've seen. I think what happens is they start getting maybe dirty contacts or something on the buttons, and people start pressing harder, and it's causing this whole board to flex, and then there's a lot of heat in there. So, and over time, stuff degrades, right? So these are all little LEDs, and I had a few of those that weren't working, so I went ahead and reflowed those as well as all these resistors and that look crack. I didn't do all of them, but the ones that looked suspect to me under a microscope, I did. You certainly could just touch them all up and cover yourself. But anyways, all my LEDs came back. All the switches work now. So this is tried and true. On the back side of the board, you have a bunch of contact switches. You can go ahead and take a foam swab, not a cotton swab. Try to get yourself one of these foam swabs like this, and take some alcohol, preferably 99% alcohol, and just give them all a good cleaning. And if yours are real grimy or you've spilled something in there, you know, keep going over it till it's clean. And, you know, you're not getting a bunch of dirt on the swabs. And then, you know, you can, ideally you'd blow that off with compressed air, but that's real loud. I'm not going to do that right now. That's all you got to do on that side. And actually, I'd probably do the soldering first and then touch that out. But just saying, these are what makes contact with these little conductive key domes in here. And on the tips of all these is a conductive material, and it causes a short across the two contacts there, you know, on the left and right. So it causes them to short together, and that creates a key press. You don't want to ever put conductive paint on these. I've seen that on a lot of different stuff where someone tries to fix it using these little conductive paint pens. It's not gonna, like, more than likely you need to just clean these things. That goes with other products too, musical instruments. I've seen that on a lot. And, you know, probably works temporarily for some people, but for the most part, it ends up destroying everything else. So I wouldn't use those. Now, this is what I was talking about to pull this out. Don't tip it over, because that's what I did, and then you'll lose all the little plastic pieces in there. Instead, grab it like that. And so when you press on these buttons, it's causing a lever action on either side of those little plastic pieces there. I just wanted to show you that, because might as well take it all the way down. You know, hit all this with air and put it back in there. So now we'll get to the fun part. So for soldering, you know, turn your iron on, let it get hot. Some irons will take quite a while if they're, you know, just a little stick or whatever. Just, you know, be patient and warm that iron up. You know, open a window, get yourself some ventilation. Get yourself one of these, if you can, carbon filter extractors, fume extractors. And see if I can zoom in on this. Now, like I said, I'll share some pictures what a crack looks like, because this one's already been done, and I still need to get a microscope camera. I think you guys might enjoy that. So basically, this thing's gonna be hot already. I don't have to wait. You know, look at where your mirror controls are. They're up here, right? So I started looking at that initially, and that's when I was finding you know, at least one or two sides of all these. You can use some flux if you want, but you know, basically just hit it. You'll see it flow. You know, add a little solder, let it go, just like that. These LEDs, they're gonna melt real easy. Don't hit them with your iron, just give them a quick hit. I wouldn't even add solder, I just go like that. Too much heat otherwise. You know, don't lay over the thing with your iron, you'll burn it. You know, most of these components to me looked pretty good. If you do want to reflow them, just keep in mind these are big ground traces. It's gonna take a while. You have to hold that thing there before it flows. Flex might come in handy in this purpose for you. So there's, you know, there's a ground flowing on that, for instance. That took a second, right? But what you want is, you know, shiny solder. You know, if this is through hole, I'd probably, if it was contaminated solder, I'd take it down. But in this case, you just end up burning every one of these. And that's one note on these. If you haven't done surface mount, I mean, you definitely could take a heat gun to this too, but I don't think everybody owns a heat gun, so this is also, you know, less likely to burn those LEDs, start having the pieces melt. So you just go on board, just keep doing that. You know, really that's probably all you need to do. You might not even have to add solder. but it just looked good to me when I was adding it. This is lead-based solder I used. And, you know, you can argue about using different solder than what, you know, I'm guessing this is Rojas in 2013 and they probably don't have lead in it. But I prefer lead solder. That's what I have on hand right now. And this car has 180,000 miles on it, so I'm really not too concerned. And it's paid off. Hail damaged. It's really not a beautiful car. This will probably outlast the car now. That's, you know, that's way too much solder there. But you get the idea. I just wanted to give you a couple examples. You know, if you do screw something up, just, you know, don't freak out, I guess. You know, maybe advise with somebody that knows what they're doing a little better and have them finish it. Don't try to keep fixing it, because once one of those things come off, you need one of these tweezers and special tips. Typically, you can hit it, you know, with enough heat fast enough to lift them a lot of the times, but you're gonna burn the part out with too much heat. So, you know, defer to the experts in that case. And this isn't the job for you. If you start knocking parts off the board, you're probably not experienced enough with soldering. But do so at your own risk. You know, I take no responsibility for any mishaps by watching this video. This is just to show you that you can DIY your own electronics. You don't need to go to the part store, to go to the dealer and buy a new part and throw this in the landfill. Let's keep it all landfill. Fix what you got. So put the circuit board back in there. It's keyed, so you can't screw it up. So you don't bend those pins. Don't go like this. You know, don't tilt it. Just go straight down and push. You can see the pins are in there. There you go. Done deal. Make sure all your switches work. You don't drop any pins out. And in this case, it's going to be good as new. Grab your trim. Put the switch back in there. And don't forget to put your other screws back in, which will help with that holding those clips in too. Don't over tighten them. Just do it finger tight. Go, and your stuff snapping in place, and then attach it to the frame or the trim piece. There you go. Now you can put it back in your car, double check everything's working, and enjoy your refurbished control panel that you just did yourself. Thanks. This is Nick, Notch Audio.